According to data from wildlife conservation organizations like WWF and IUCN, there are only about 3,900 wild tigers left in the entire world. That means there are fewer tigers than the population of a medium-sized city. But among these remaining tigers, there are 6 species that are not only rare, but each has its own story and appearance, as if they've leapt straight out of a fantasy world. From the cold-dwelling Siberian tigers to the legendary white tiger, and even the mysterious blue tiger that scientists are still debating about. So let's go on a journey together through the forests and mountains to get to know these rare and unique princes of nature better. Let's quickly get to number 1. The Malayan tiger might be a bit less known than the other tigers, but that doesn't mean it's any less valuable. This tiger mostly lives in the rainforest of Malaysia, and it's smaller than the Bengal tiger, but when it comes to camouflage and hunting, it's just as skilled. It's interesting to know that this tiger is genetically completely distinct because it has lived in isolation in this region for a long time. This has led to truly unique features in its fur and its hunting behavior. These magnificent tigers are truly like professional hunters, moving easily through the profound darkness of the jungle. But unfortunately, significant threats like widespread deforestation and relentless illegal hunting are putting their precious population at serious risk. Let's move on to number 2 on our list, the Siberian tiger, which we all know. But did you know that this beautiful giant of Russia's cold forests is the largest tiger species in the world? They can reach up to 3.3 meters in length. That's about 10 feet. And their weight can get up to 320 kilograms. Or in other words, 700 pounds. Often, when they're hunting in the Siberian snow, you can see their paw prints etched into the snow like a work of art. This tiger shows both its grace and power at the same time when it hunts. It calmly stalks its prey and then, at just the right moment, strikes. The Siberian tiger is truly a masterpiece of nature, but what's its main threat? Poachers and habitat loss. The Somatan tiger, which only lives on the island of Sumatra in Indonesia, with its very dark stripes and intricate skin pattern, looks like a beautiful painting. These tigers are the smallest in the world in terms of size, but at the same time, they're incredibly fast and intelligent. They're professional hunters. They move silently. They climb trees like cats, cross rivers like fish, and disappear in the jungle like ghosts. Interestingly, a study in 2016 in Indonesia showed that these tigers carefully check the wind so their scent doesn't give them away, which is a rare sign of intelligent evolution. Another interesting point is that some Sumatran tigers have a darker color. This is probably the result of genetic mutations in a small and isolated population, which means inbreeding has increased in this small population, and of course, that's dangerous. You should know that inbreeding refers to breeding within the family, and it means the mating of animals that are very closely related, like siblings or parent and offspring. As you know, this kind of mating also leads to genetic problems. Number 4 on our list is the South China tiger, but this tiger really has a story that you could talk about for hours. The South China tiger is almost extinct in the wild, and many scientists believe there may not be any wild specimens left. However, it seems that a few of them are still alive in captivity, and there are ongoing programs to reintroduce them into the wild. It's important to know that in Chinese myths and legends, the South China tiger is recognized as the guardian of the forests and a symbol of power. Now, let's get to one of the most fascinating tigers in the world, the white tiger. The white tiger is the result of a genetic mutation called leucism, which causes the tiger's fur to be white with black stripes and eyes, instead of the usual orange. But a shocking fact is that almost all white tigers have gone extinct in the wild. And actually, the white tigers that exist today are the result of breeding and captivity, specifically inbreeding. This causes these tigers to have genetic problems such as strabismus, crossed eyes, dental issues, muscular and skeletal defects, a weak immune system, kidney and heart problems, infertility, or reduced fertility. And finally, we come to number 6, the blue or Maltese tiger. This tiger might be the strangest tiger species, known as a rare color variant of the tiger. These tigers are described as having bluish-gray fur with dark stripes and are mostly attributed to the South China tiger subspecies. There have been reports of sightings of this tiger in various sources, especially in Fujian province in China. Also, around 1910, Harry R. Caldwell, an American missionary and big game hunter, claimed that he saw and hunted this blue tiger near Fujian. This story was recorded in his book as The Blue Tiger in 1924. Also, his companion Roy Chapman Andrews mentioned the same experience in his book called Camps and Trails in China in 1925. It's interesting to know that there's a lot of debate about the blue tiger. Some people say it really exists. Some say the blue tiger is just a legend, an illusion of color and light. It's interesting to know that even genetics can't properly explain the blue tiger. In fact, the genetics of the blue or Maltese tiger is complicated. The combination of 2 recessive genes causes its body color to turn a bluish-gray, but this combination alone can't produce the typical stripes of tigers. So, the blue tiger is a truly fascinating kind of genetic paradox. Now, just imagine all these incredibly rare and unique species, each living in a very different corner of the vast world with their own distinct conditions and compelling stories. But all of them are endangered. Maybe many of us will never even get the chance to see them. What kind of future awaits this prince of the jungle? Can we protect them, or are we only left to listen to their stories and feel regret? There are various theories about the future of these rare tigers. Some people believe that with scientific and technological advances like molecular biology and cloning, we might one day be able to bring these rare species back to life or dramatically increase their populations. In fact, several research projects are being conducted in laboratories focused on gene reconstruction and preserving genetic diversity. But there's another group that's completely worried and says these methods might disrupt the natural state and balance of the ecosystem. This group believes it's better to invest our energy and resources in protecting the natural habitats of these tigers, because no technology can replace healthy, untouched forests. These people emphasize that without preserving the habitat, no living tiger can survive, even if it comes out of a laboratory. Another interesting opinion is that maybe these rare tigers are symbols of the culture and heritage of different regions, and instead of just looking at them from an environmental perspective, we should also consider them from historical and cultural angles. In other words, preserving them isn't just about protecting a species, but also about safeguarding the stories, legends, and identities that generations have tied to them. But honestly, I personally think that all of these rare species show how diverse and beautiful our world is, but at the same time, how vulnerable it is. These tigers aren't just rare animals. They represent the power, beauty, and balance of nature. When one of these species disappears, a big part of the story of life on Earth is erased. The reality is harsh. Many of these species are endangered because of our own actions. Overhunting, habitat destruction, pollution, and even climate change. But there is still hope. Every successful program to protect and restore these species is like a huge victory. If each of us takes at least one step, like donating to conservation centers, spreading awareness and education, or even just sharing these stories, we can help ensure the survival of these tigers. Now I want to know, what do you think? Which tiger did you find more interesting? Or which story touched your heart the most? Write it in the comments. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask, because we're planning to make more videos about wildlife and the secrets of nature. So I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts. But the story of these 6 rare tiger species, the Malayan, Siberian, Sumatran, South China, white, and blue tigers, isn't just about rare animals. It's about life itself and preserving the biodiversity of our planet. We have a stake in this world, a stake that can either be a savior or a destroyer. Every time a species disappears, it gives us a bitter lesson that we need to try harder, with love and responsibility, to protect these wonders. Let's remember, As long as these beautiful tigers still roam the forests and plains, the story of life and hope goes on.